So welcome everyone to NAVIS webinar. So I would like to acknowledge everyone's presence firstly. Ganesh, Gurpreet Saini, and Aishwarya. All of your names are seen. Yes, hello everyone. And so many people have even left messages for me. That's really nice. You people have taken effort to come to the webinar and you are also leaving, kind messages. Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Okay, so I'm Harshita Shivram from NAVIS. Firstly, to talk about NAVIS, NAVIS is an Indo-Japanese collaborated company which is into recruiting and training languages. Before we start the session, I just want to know that you all are keeping in good health and taking enough precautions to avoid COVID-19. All right, so I'll be sharing you the screen right now of the PPT. So as you all are being muted, I just need your thumbs up. Okay, I'll be beginning the webinar now. So shall I start the webinar? Am I audible and can you see the screen? Okay, yes, thank you so much. All right, so today I'm going to speak about IELTS General Writing Module with respect to task 2. As Manasan has already briefed you, we have already conducted the webinar on task 1. So we are going ahead with task 2. So firstly, let's see what is the introduction to IELTS. What is IELTS? IELTS is an international English language testing system which assesses your English language skills. And this is being taken by candidates who are interested to study abroad and also for work-related things, okay? And IELTS is globally recognized in all the English-speaking countries, including the United States of America. So IELTS is being co-partnered by British Council, Cambridge University, and ITP Australia. IELTS is offered based on the two formats. One is the general training module and other is the academic module. So here in both the formats, the listening and speaking remains the same, whereas reading and writing is different. In general training, as we are going to speak about general training today, what is general training? Who can take up general training is something we're going to see now. General training is taken by candidates who want to undertake non-academic training and for work purpose, also for immigration purposes. It can be related to PR visas and also for technical, advancement also people do take up general training. Total time taken here is 2 hours and 45 minutes. So here it is the same for both academic as well as general training. How is IELTS, how is IELTS being assessed? IELTS is assessed based on the band score. So band score, it can range from 1 to 9. So 1 is an average user in English language, whereas 9 is an expert user of English language. So let's see a gist of general training writing module. So we have 2 tasks. Task 1 has a word limit of 150 words and the advice time is 20 minutes. Task description here is writing a letter. It can be semi-formal, informal, or formal letter. I can see somebody raising your hand. Can you please leave a message? What is it? Bharati? Okay. I will take up any kind of questions or queries later on once I finish the seminar. Okay. Thank you. So the second task is having the word limit of 250 words and advice time here is 40 minutes. And the task description here is writing an essay. It can be a discursive essay related to any kind of discussion and also defense of an opinion where it is related to a general topic. So let's see What is an essay? So essay is nothing but a couple of paragraphs put together. So an essay is a piece of writing that is several paragraphs long. An essay is just like a paragraph, but it focuses a main point, which has a topic. So the topic, since it is being broad enough, okay, I can see a lot of raising hands. Okay, I will take up your queries once the session is done. Okay, please concentrate on the seminar now. Thank you. All right. So since the topic is broad, the essay is divided into paragraphs and it also controls the major topic. To tie all the parts, what do you require? One is the introduction at the beginning, and then we have the body, and then at the end we have a conclusion. So what are the types of essays that you can see in IELTS? One is opinion essay. Here, the topic question will have an opinion to ask from you. So an opinion is required for you to write in an essay or the answer. Next, we have discussion essay where it can also ask disagreeing or agreeing and you got to discuss about the topic question. Solution essay where a problem is given and you have to write a solution in the essay. Advantage or disadvantage essay wherein the pros and the cons will be written in the body of the passage. Direct question essay, so it is pretty straightforward. So you have to just answer the question asked in the essay. So let's see pre-task. What I usually tell my students is that you have to concentrate on the pre-task before taking up the essay. So what are the main points that you can remember while you are writing the essay? We will see. Find words in the question that will help you develop ideas. That means you have to find some of the keywords in the essay, in the topic question. Let the wording of the question help you organize your answer. So once you find the keywords, what will happen is you will immediately brainstorm or you will immediately write down all the points related to that particular topic. So once you write this, you will have a proper organization of the essay. So remember to find the keywords. Never copy the task question. Yes, usually this is what the biggest mistake students make is that you will copy the task question. You should never copy the task question. You should always paraphrase the topic question which is being asked. For that, you can also use an n number of synonyms. Rephrase in your own words. Rephrase in your own words is nothing but you can put in your synonyms, which is related to which has the same meaning. Okay, the word will be different. It is known as synonym. Use structures and precise vocabulary. So in IELTS, we do have something called, syntax, as well as we have grammatical range and accuracy, lexical resource. So all these things constitute the structure. So you have to organize your answers accordingly or the passage. Syntax is nothing but the sentence formation which you have to look into in IELTS. Precise vocabulary is nothing but a couple of uncommon words that you can use, which is otherwise also known as lexical resource. No poorly expressed ideas or vague points. So do not go short of your ideas. Always elaborate your ideas. Put in some supporting ideas in your passage. Understand the difference between main and supportive ideas. So when you once know the main topic, you will be elaborating with certain examples. So supporting ideas here is nothing but examples. So you have to know the difference between the main topic and the examples. All right. So I hope you have understood pre-task. This is very important for you to start IELTS writing. All right. Okay, so do we go further? Okay. Introduction to task 2. So we have the introductory statement or the introductory question that will be asked in IELTS. It can either be compare or contrast, refute an argument where you are disagreeing to it, make a concession. That means you are agreeing or you are respecting to that one particular point and also giving your own point of view. So remember, make a concession. You can use all these standard expressions. Okay. Generalize is you have to, generalize or summarize the entire topic question. Make a prediction. You are predicting about something which is asked in the particular topic question. Ask a rhetorical question. Rhetorical question is nothing but you are imposing a question at the end of your answer. Like, isn't it, wasn't it, all these things. Okay. So these are some of the standard expressions or the line of development which you can remember. You can also take note of. All right. So what do we have in our introduction? Let's see. Introduction is nothing but the topic sentence which we address in IELTS. So we have a background information which is nothing but the general statement. Next, we have a thesis statement which has views, opinions, and which comes under a subtopic. All right. So we will see in our example what is a general statement and a thesis statement. Okay. Further, we have something called passage, which covers the body of the paragraph or the essay. So express feelings. When you are expressing feelings, use an array of adjectives and adverbs. Adjectives is nothing but which describes the noun, and adverbs is nothing but which describes the verb. For example, for adjectives, you can tell that she is beautiful, he is charismatic. All these words you can use. And adverbs, she moves swiftly. So you have to describe the verb. Use a range of linkers. So what is a linker? Linker is nothing but something which connects your body or the paragraphs. Here you can use something like whereas, therefore, consequently. All these words you can use as linkers. Grammar, punctuation, and spelling are very important, guys. You have to remember about this because spelling error will be penalized in IELTS. So make sure that your grammar, punctuation is, included. Punctuation, although it doesn't count to the word count, but you have to remember that punctuation is important because you are forming a sentence. Okay. Do not misunderstand or write irrelevantly. So remember not to misunderstand the topic question and to focus correctly what is being asked. You should be clear enough. Okay. Do not address half or less of the topic. So whatever the topic question is being asked, do not address it half or quarter. You should thoroughly finish the bullet points which is being asked. Next, in the conclusion, what is required, we will see. So these are some of the expressions that you can use in your conclusion. By this, I mean that to conclude, ultimately, in conclusion, overall, in the final analysis. So conclusion is nothing but you are giving a gist or the entire summary of the main points which you have written in your essay. Okay. So it is just like a full cake. Even if the half or even if the quarter piece is left over, it's not been complete, right? So conclusion plays such an important role. Introduction, body, and conclusion. Okay. All right. So we will see some of the key points before we go to the sample. What is the key point that you have to remember? Don't write less than 250 words. You will be penalized under something called task fulfillment. Start your introduction only after you have organized your ideas. So brainstorming your ideas, coming up with ideas is very important. Once you see the topic sentence, you have to remember the keywords and then you have to relate it or associate with more words. In the conclusion, summarize your views. Like I said, it is a final statement that you're giving, so summary is important. It is important to demonstrate your ability to control complex sentences. So there are something called complex and simple sentence. So here what happens is, in simple sentence, there will be just one idea, but complex sentence is something more than one idea. So you should always have a sync between complex and simple sentence. You should have a fine balance in your essay, which is very important. Do not write too many complex sentences and very less simple sentence. You should always have equal amount of simple as well as complex. Maintain a balance of simple and complex structures. Like I said, essays to be coherent, logical, assertive, and to have an impact. So the essays must have an impact on your examiner, which is very important, and be rational. Think over while you're writing. It's very important. Do not just write for the sake of writing the word count. Okay? All right. So let's see what are the views that you can express further. You can use certain standard expressions like by this I mean, in other words, that is to say, to be more precise. Here I'm not referring to when you disagree, while I admit that. To illustrate. So to illustrate is something when you can use when you're giving a supporting idea or the example. Okay. So let's see what is the essay sample. Okay. So you should remember that 40 minutes is, required on this essay, on any kind of essay in IELTS. So this is the question. As you can all read with me, it will be good. Many students choose to take a gap year before starting university to travel or gain work experience. So this is something called the introductory question. Do you think this is a good idea or a waste of time? So here we have another bullet point. Give reasons for your answer and include any relevant examples from your own knowledge or experience. Write at least 250 words. This is how you will have it in your mock test as well as in your IELTS exam. So please go through this. This is very important. Okay. So this is something called as the topic question, and this is known as the introductory question. So like you see, many can also be replaced by something called majority, right? You have to find synonyms for the keywords. So here the keywords can be a gap year, and then travel, and then gain work experience. So we will further see how have I written the essay. So this, as you can see, this is the introduction. So introduction has the general statement and the thesis statement. So I have used different colors so that you people will have a better understanding. Okay. So let's read it along. The majority of students start their degree in the same year as finishing school or college. Some students, however, choose to take a year out before starting the university. So what did the topic question tell? That, some students also take break and they travel, otherwise they also go for work experience. So do you think it is a good or a bad idea? So what am I written in this general statement? I am just generalizing the entire topic sentence, topic question only. So I have used many with majority, and I have just repeated the same thing using different words. Okay. So here, school or college is being replaced with university in the topic question. That you have to remember. So I have just repeated the same thing. So it is all about background information, what you get from your question. Next, I'm going to the thesis. Thesis is very important. This is nothing but your own idea or your own opinion which you are giving. So I have started telling that, in my opinion, this is a very good idea if the time is, is used wisely in order to gain new skills or knowledge. So what am I telling? I'm telling that it is a very good idea to take break only when it is used wisely. In the following essay, I will discuss this idea further. So you should always remember that you should never end the thesis statement abrupt. Okay, you should not stop it there. You should always give an examiner the overview of what you might tell in the next paras. So for that, what have I written? In the following essay, I will discuss this idea further. Okay, so let's see, what am I telling? It is very important that when a gap year is taken, the time is not wasted but used productively. It would not look very impressive to a future employee if the time was simply used to take a break. So what am I doing here? I'm using this thesis statement and I am also writing it about it in the next para that it should be used productively. But how? It is the supporting idea which follows. How means so that why is the reason, right? So the future employer will not be impressive if you don't use, or if you just write, I have wasted this year in the CV, definitely no employer will come, right? So you have to make it impressive in your CV. So you have to tell that you have used that gap year for the productive use. Okay, this does not mean that a gap year should not be enjoyed. So I'm also telling that, gap year must be enjoyed at the same time used productively. This will make an awareness in the examiner's eye, telling that, okay, this person knows, this person or the writer is balancing both the statement, which is very important. You have to balance your viewpoint. And further, many people choose to go traveling. Now I have taken the travel as the key point. Traveling during their gap year. This can be very beneficial to the individual as it exposes them to new ideas and cultures. So what happens when you travel? You will meet new people, you will have different cultures to absorb, and also you will have a different wavelength altogether to share with. What will happen that time? You will also have that soul searching happening in yourself, where you will have a vast, area of life understanding itself. So traveling is not so bad. So many people go on solo traveling, right? So that you can write, and it can also mean that they are able to learn a new language. Once you meet people, definitely you will start speaking to that person. Other students decide to gain work experience. Now, what am I doing? I'm getting another keyword here, which is work experience. So, during this year, this can be particularly useful, especially if connected to their chosen area of study. So what will happen? Many of them go on internship programs, right? So by taking a year gap, it's okay. When you're working also, you're getting a practical experience over that, entire subject. For example, somebody will, want to go for MBA, but he would have taken a gap year and then he will go and do some internship program. Here, what is happening? You have a product, you are being productive. Also, you have a practical knowledge about something which will help in your course of study. That is the academic study further. So often students who have worked before attending university appreciate their course more, as they are able to understand the relevance of what is being taught. So what am I doing here? I'm also bringing some general information of the stats. So what am I telling is that so many students have gone through this process of taking internship programs, and they are able to understand the academic course in their university. So like this, you have to, understand what you're trying to convey by, bringing certain ideas. Overall is nothing but the expression that we use for concluding. Therefore, is a linker here. As discussed in this essay, there can be several benefits to taking a gap year. It is very important, however, that this time is used wisely and not wasted. So I am going back to the thesis statement, okay? I'm going back to the thesis statement and I'm supporting it with certain ideas in my body of the essay. You have to remember this. This means that the year needs to be planned carefully in advance to get the most from the experience. So what am I telling? So in order to get the best of the experience, you should also do some planning. Okay. So here I have used 253 words. I have written here already the 61 words and 553 words and all that. It's just that not, don't take time to count. That's the reason I've written. But you have to not repeat this in your mock test or even in your examination. You can have a mind map of the words, but never put like this. If you are taking up any computer-based test, definitely there will be the word count analyzed by the computer itself. If you're going for paper-based test, make sure that not to write this way. Okay. All right. So did you understand this? Can I go further? You have any kind of, doubts? I will clarify at the end anyhow. But can I go further? All right. Yes. Okay. Fine. So here is a thing which you can remember. It's a flow chart. So we have a paragraph here. It's nothing but related to the introduction, general statement and thesis statement. And then we have the body. We have a topic sentence. Beginning of the paragraph is nothing but a topic sentence. And then we have the supporting ideas. So we have two topic sentence and then the conclusion. So here I usually tell my students to work on this method. Introduction, you can keep 40 words. And then, topic sentence here, the body can be 100. And then topic again, this can be 100. And conclusion can be 40. So here you are always working on the 250 word methodology. So like that also, you can go further. So I hope you all have understood the task 2. And so you have a questionnaire for you also. Just work on this and write to me. You can write to me at harshita@navis.in. All right, this is again an opinion essay like the one before. Please write to me at harshita@navis.in. I'll be eager to look at all your answers and I will be giving you respective band score related to writing as well. Okay. All right. So let's see the band score, how it's been assessed. It is the same for task 1 and task 2. Task response is nothing but you have to elaborate the bullet points, whatever is being asked. You have to cover all the main points. And coherence and cohesion is nothing but the linkers that you're using, which can be connectors, pronouns, or conjunctions. Conjunctions are nothing but and, but, and all that. Pronouns are he or she. Connectors can be any linkers like whereas, although, okay? Furthermore, all these things. Lexical resource determines your range of vocabulary. Vocabulary, you don't have to get confused there. It's nothing but the uncommon words, okay? Grammatical range and accuracy, it's, fine balance between the complex and the simple sentences. So to conclude the task, we began with the introduction to IELTS, and then we further study about introduction to the general training module, and then general writing module, after which we also looked into task 2 with certain expressions, and then we had some examples, and then we had the band score. All right, so the floor is open for questions.